You're a dad who has found yourself in a peculiar place. You're in a divorce case, you're in a custody case, and you don't know what rights you have. Let's talk about it. As you would assume, a father's right question is a question I get asked all the time. I'm a dad, I don't know what's happening, my wife wants a divorce, I want more time with my kids, how do I go about it? Well, the short answer, and you're probably tired of me telling you this if you watch a lot of these videos, is it depends. But as a dad, or any parent, you're still entitled to some certain rights. As a reminder, here in Texas, we don't use the word custody, we use the word conservatorship, but they're effectively the same thing. If you're a dad asking me, hey, I want my child or my children more than the other parent, what you're really asking me for is primary conservatorship, or rather, the right to determine the primary residence of your child with or without some sort of geographic restriction. So first and foremost, you need to make sure you're understanding what you're actually asking for. If what you're asking for is more decision-making ability, well, that's going to live in the conservatorship section of your underlying order. That has to do with where the child lives, who's making decisions like invasive medical decisions, psychological and psychiatric decisions, and educational decisions, inclusive of school enrollment. If, as a father, you want a 50-50 possession schedule, it's a very common question. Well, I will remind you that in Texas, there is no 50-50 presumption. The presumption is that one parent should have primary and the other parent should have some possession schedule. The family code says that a standard possession schedule, what most dads think of as, the weekend dad, that's that first, third, and fifth weekend, Friday after school to Monday back at school, every Thursday during the school year, overnight, holidays, and summers get split up as well. Understand that as a dad, you need to be having an active role in your child's life well before there's any sort of custody or divorce issue. The easiest way to ask for a 50-50 schedule or even primary is to be incredibly involved in your children's lives. That means making those doctor's appointments. That means going to the parent-teacher conference, setting the parent-teacher conference, picking up your children from school, taking your children from school, being the coach of the team, being as involved as you possibly can. The more factors that you can present to a judge that you are in fact the person who does the bulk majority of the parenting, the easier it is to ask that judge for primary. Or, of course, on a possession schedule, let's say that you and the other side have already separated. Well, you need to establish what that schedule needs to look like right now so that if and or when things were to change, you can show the court that there's a precedent that has been set. Let's say you want to do that 50-50 schedule and you want this week on, week off, back and forth so that the children aren't having to do so many back and forths during the school week. My suggestion would be get ahead of it. Talk to the other side. Maybe start a schedule where you're switching with your spouse or soon to be ex-spouse or the other parent on Sunday, let's say at 3 o'clock. Get in a routine. Children thrive under routine, and that's an easy sell to make to a court if and when you have to ask. Of course, in father's rights cases, we always talk about child support. As a reminder, child support is statutorily based on what the code tells us to do. Those numbers, they're really just math. 20% of your net monthly income for one kid, step up 5% for 2 kids, and so on and so forth, up and until 40% for 5 children or more. I will tell you here in the most recent legislative session, they increased that cap of your net monthly income. So the court can look at up to $11,700 per month of your net income can be attributed to child support. What does that mean for you? Number one, make as much money as you can so you don't have to stress about it. And number two, prepare so that in the event the other parent is the primary parent and you're having to pay child support, you're financially ready for that. If you found yourself needing some help and have additional questions concerning your rights as a father, reach out to us at vergestexas.com or give us a call at 817-203-2220.